There it is. Oh, I'm not streaming to you. Hang on. There we go. Am I coming through for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Just gonna make sure. Okay, yeah, I'm zoomed out as far as I can go. Woo! Good start. Can I really not get the zoom skill any further out? New coffee you got us is pretty good. Yeah, I guess it's as far zoomed out as I can get. Oh, okay. Oh, hang on, I see the teleporting bars. Looks promising. Very promising. Hell yeah. Well, I burned up the Dio's best friend, but got a lot more out of it in the long run. Oh, shit! Okay, cool. There we go. Love to see it. Yeah, buddy. Okay, I can't do that. I don't have enough hops. Oh, it was here the whole time. I'm out. Holy shit, that did all that damage to me. Yeah, we may as well just fuck up our run right now. Let's go. It's all or nothing. Fucking dead instantly. As it goes.
Hey, fellow cord heads.
Oh yeah,
Yo, are you concording?
Yeah, I'm concording it up right now.
I'm gonna put a con to the ceiling and put a cord around my neck and fucking jump off because my game flopped.
You're not one of those people that betrayed it. You're not an ex-con.
Yeah. No, don't worry, I'm in the system still.
It's for the best.
25,000 sales. That's better than I expected.
It's a lot better than I expected.
I expected 2,000 sales.
I mean, just from like the numbers playing, it's like, okay, 25,000 sales.
Well, they don't all get on at once, but like.
I know, but you think like on like release day there'd be like maybe like I don't know, like more? Like that's really.
That's low. That's extremely low.
I mean, have most of those people even played?
I don't
understand all the hate. I'm having a blast.
I think most people pulled out. If you go through Steam reviews, you can see it'll let you know if the product got refunded in the review.
I imagine that's fairly common.
If you cycle through Steam reviews, you see a lot of product refunded. They probably got like 5,000 or 10,000 refunds. I'm not sure what Sony's refund policy is, but I imagine a lot of people pulled out there too.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to. Like, even if they're like, even if they're having a blast, they have to understand that this game is not going to. It's not long.
This is a game for like somebody who's like playing like a multiplayer shooter, and like the Call of Duty like Black Ops beta is out right now, so you're probably gonna move over to that if you're that kind of like shooter consumer. You're probably just gonna move over to that game. It's got no lifespan.
Daniel, Randy fucked up.
I don't know. I think that Randy knows what he's doing.
No, Randy fucked up. They tried merging the PC and Xbox code base for Risk of Rain 2, and it resulted in both copies of the game being fucking broken.
Okay, that's
good.
That's good. Sounds like Randy.
Yeah, it's very Randy. And the thing too is it's definitely a Randy move, because I know the devs at Gearbox are actually decently talented. It really does feel like a fucking rush job, like they just had to get it out the door by a certain time frame, which, you know, conspicuously coincides with around the same time they announced Borderlands 4 was in development. Don't think on that too hard though.
He's like, "What's up, Randheads? You ready to release a broken product?"
It's okay though. It's all in the name of making a quick buck so we can give our next Borderlands game a quick cash injection. Because that's always what it's about with Randy. He doesn't give a fuck about anything else. All these other IPs fucking Gearbox owns, he couldn't give less of a fuck about, dude.
Yeah, he cares about
Yeah, he wants to be badass, dude. Cool, badass Borderlands.
movies.
Concord's
Make a comeback.
toad. Concord's fucking toad. I just, like, why don't you just play Overwatch 2, like, instead? Free. Like, if you're into that kind of thing, or you can go the other route and play that whatever the fuck Paladins game if you really hate yourself.
Which
Like a high-res game.
it's an established game, you know, it's got a lot of content.
Game.
I don't understand why this was
I mean, the game should be pulled from sales and like automatic refunds. You're not losing any money issuing refunds at this point. You're not losing any money.
Yeah, it probably makes more sense to look at it as like, okay, how can we get a PR win out of this?
Make it free to play and monetize the shit out of it, or just give up, pull it, shut down the servers.
Yeah, I guess it will come down to whether they can afford to keep the servers running, which I would imagine is like the big.
They can. This game made about $1 million, and the loss is way higher.
It's so fucking over.
Well, that money's that's money. That money's already gone. No matter what they do, they've lost the money they already invested. The only question is going forward. Can they find a way to either make something back or mitigate future losses for some kind of PR win? That's what they're looking at. Like, oh, we spent 70. Nothing they do in the world is going to bring that back. So they have to start thinking forward.
You better just take this company and just shackle it to another company making a multiplayer game and just what Activision does with all the other Call of Duty studios that help make the game components. That's really what you do.
I mean, I don't know how much money it costs to run the servers.
Well, the game isn't really gonna. The game isn't heavily monetized either, so it's not gonna make any money back. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It really
the
doesn't
game
have much
with its $40 upfront cost was like to say, oh yeah, we're not gonna have a heavily monetized game, so this game isn't gonna be making any money here in the future. This is a game that was relying on initial sale, on an upfront cost to make money.
So a generally more ethical.
Yeah, generally a more ethical, but you know, it's the shittiest looking game ever. So.
I mean, I can't stop it from sucking.
It's still a soulless piece of shit corporate product, even if they tried to go for a more ethical business model. Still,
I wonder if that was that. I always question whenever corporations do anything, you know, quote unquote ethically.
Yeah.
Because I don't think like.
The ethical thing to do is to refund and pull the same.
Well, no, because you know what they were probably thinking. They were probably thinking like, oh, if we sell this game like it's a normal game, everyone will thank us for it. Because we've so heavily normalized pushing out fucking free-to-play dog shit that actually cost $100 in real reality.
Yeah.
But everyone will thank us for finally publishing a game that's quote-unquote normal.
Thanks, Cobra. That's what they'll say.
You Cobra? No problem, cutie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now going forward, let's what do they do going forward? What's the next step? You're the EA EA man.
Okay.
So the real answer.
Keep in mind here, you have to balance losing money.
Okay, so my answer, right, is I finally open the drawer that contains my gun, and I end it all. Okay, but for real though, like, yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, we'd have to shut the servers down. There's no way we can keep it running with that operating cost. The game's not making any money.
You take this studio. You take the guys that made the Killzone games. Tell them to stop making those dog shit Horizon games. Force them to make a Killzone Battlefield clone where it's Like, it's 32v32, and it's just the kill zone guys all shooting each other with destructible environments. There you go.
As far as I can tell, they have two options. The first option is like you said, refund the people who've sold the game and say, yep, this is a misfire. You know, we're done. That's a reasonable solution to take. It also gives you kind of a PR win because you're like, yeah, we're not going to screw anybody. This game didn't go off. We're not going to support it. Or you can take this other option and say, like, regardless of the numbers, we plan on keeping the servers running for at least a year. And say, so people who do want to enjoy it can, even if we're running at a loss.
Well, the player count will plummet, so those people won't be able to play anyways.
But the thing is as the player counts plummet, that's less operating costs.
Yeah.
I guarantee they have to be running a scalable system. They're not running this on physical servers. These are all virtual.
I think they got a wire shoved up Toucan's ass and
yeah, like so it's
why?
probably completely scalable. So it probably is something that generates like instances based on people who jump into it. So theoretically, everything being virtual could mean that they have a very low operating cost. It could just be the data traffic, and we also don't know exactly how the game handles data traffic. We don't know whether it syncs both up with each other, whether it syncs internally, whether it leverages some kind of peer-to-peer transmission. We don't know any of that.
Yeah,
any of those can further
reduce the cost. 7 months from now, they're going to get a game that shuts down in like 4 months with no players on it.
There's, at least at that point, those people would understand that that is the situation.
They shouldn't have done that, but yeah.
I mean, they would say we're going to keep supporting it for a year, at least. That's our thing. Just to people who bought it can play the game. That would also be kind of a decent thing to do. I think the worst thing they could do is just shut the servers down and then just not say anything.
I think they should just issue refunds and shut the game down and behead the character artist guy.
That guy specifically, the living fucking soy jack.
I don't know what the fuck that guy was on about. Jesus Christ. I mean, fuck,
terrible.
dude. I know art is hard, and but for fuck's sake, man,
I saw people on YouTube defend the guy like it's subjective, and it's like, yeah, but
and everyone has decided it sucks.
Here's the thing I always say whenever people throw that fucking art is subjective thing at me. Art is also consensus. If people unanimously agree it's pretty fucking dog shit, they might be onto something.
Also, this isn't a guy making deviant art posts. They're making a fucking consumer product.
Yeah, isn't that a guy coming out with his OC
please
don't be mean. Please don't be mean to me, guys. Please don't be mean to me, guys. I get bullied at home. This is a fucking adult man making a product.
Making a product. Again, that's the operative term here. He's making a product.
Yeah, so it's like this. I mean, and the thing is, unusually about this product is people have specifically, and this is what I love, people have specifically zeroed in on the character design and art direction as a problem. Like, you don't see that very much. A lot of times, people just don't acknowledge it. They're like, yeah, it's stupid, and then they don't think about it anymore. But I've seen multiple YouTube videos specifically addressing.
Yeah, usually people who are just haters or detractors will say pretty uninspired, bland art style. No, they're like, oh, these characters are fucking terrible.
It's like, no, this is specifically horrible.
Yeah.
And it's I showed a lot of it. I showed them to Zeph, and I was like, let's talk about the problems with this. And he literally is like, it would be so much easier to talk about what they did right, because it'd be a very short conversation, because almost nothing is done correctly. And the coloration is
that
awful.
a fucking mushroom on my screen? You putting that on my screen?
Tony's fucking soprano. Yeah, it's a fucking mushroom. I mean, then again, he did love the blueberry guys.
Yeah, no. Put that fucking mushroom guy away right now. Put him away right now. Put the blueberry back on my screen. Put him back on my screen.
Blueberry back on. Yeah.
He starts clapping like a little baby.
Yeah, he's clapping like a baby.
I love the fucking fat blueberry guy. Put him on again.
But they're all awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Also, the mushroom guy is kind of lifted from What was that other hero shooter that failed? Like one of the first ones?
Battleborn. It's a Randy product. Speaking of Randy.
Yeah, he looks like the guy from Battleborn.
Yeah, on the subject of Randy.
The guy from Battleborn was fucking a lot better than this.
Oh yeah, well, because he wasn't really a mushroom. He was just wearing like a stylized sort of Eastern-looking hat.
I thought he was a mushroom.
I don't think he was. I think he just looked like a mushroom.
Okay, well, he did look like a mushroom, regardless.
Yes.
But like, it's like people have specifically zeroed in on how difficult it is to engage with these characters, and I 100% understand that. It's so difficult to look at these characters and like just engage with them because there's nothing there. It's like busy but blank. It's terrible. It's awful fucking character design. None of them have specific, like with a character design for something like this, you have to say there's going to be one or two specific things that are going to stand out on glance that are going to define the character.
He's a soldier man and he's got a big gun in it.
The guy, okay, first of all, I know we joke about the fucking lizard dude. The fucking like regular guy, like the regular white guy or whatever, who's wearing like fucking a football thing and like wrestling ear pads, looking like he's from a bad 80s sci-fi flick.
Yeah, looking like a goon, like a fucking extra in RoboCop.
He really does look like he looks like somebody who's like, hey, I saw Tron, yeah, that was pretty good, let's make a ripoff. And they made a Tron ripoff, and that guy is from the Tron ripoff.
And here's the thing, if you're failing at like the generic white guy character too, like that's your first litmus test of if you can design a character, right? Because that's like
if you fuck that up, you can't do it.
Yeah, because that's the starting point. Like let's take a peer example, right? Overwatch, Soldier 76. He's a soldier man with a sci-fi visor on. He's got the blue fucking jacket and he's got a machine gun. Job's a good one, isn't it? It's like simple. He's a fucking handsome-looking white guy with a fucking machine gun and the red visor.
There always needs to be one.
Yeah, is it like
people want to be people want to have someone they can kind of identify with. And a lot of people are generic white guys.
Well, and here's the thing too. You also need like your standard, your Ryu of the game. You need your litmus test character who every other character is compared against.
Yeah, who's boring and average and doesn't do anything special. This is like
because sometimes that's fun and people like that. People like a character
this guy went to war and he went to the Dick's Sporting Good hockey section before he went to war.
Yeah, like what the fucking like it is. He looks so 80s, and it's like I can't even express how 80s he looks.
But not the good 80s.
Way.
Yeah, not the good 80s.
Like in really cheesy sci-fi and
like,
not done
like
in
something
a joking way.
Like something you'd see on something you'd see the Red Letter Media guys covering on Best of the Worst.
Yeah, it's like a shitty low-budget sci-fi film where like, okay, we need a sci-fi outfit, all right. We're gonna get those ear pads for wrestlers. That literally is what he's wearing. He's wearing ear protection for wrestlers. That is exactly what that is.
Well, he doesn't want to get his ears popped when he's getting grappled, doesn't he?
And his outfit is a fucking football thing. It's like, were they specifically going for that aesthetic of like, this is a shitty 80s movie? Because you can do that and make it funny as fuck.
Well, because here's the thing, the rest of the game isn't cohesive with that concept, if that's what they were going for.
Yeah, the rest of the game doesn't do any of that.
So you just have this fucking, like, you just have this, like, 80s goon, 80s fucking sci-fi movie goon, hanging out with all these characters who look like they belong from something else entirely.
Yeah, it's terrible. It is such a catastrophic fuck-up. I mean, the character design is just abysmal.
Here's the thing, too.
Dogshit.
There's an art also to lack of cohesion, and what I say is, there's a lot of games that somehow make, like, the rogues gallery approach work, of having these characters who seemingly shouldn't fit together, but somehow manage to make them all stick. They couldn't even do that.
One of the ways they do that is by uniformity of how the character, the philosophy behind the character design.
Yes.
You could have a lot of different sort of genres of character design, but you need to adhere to the same methodology of how the characters are identified, how their visual indicators sync up with their personality, and how they're like how prominent those are. But this doesn't do that. It is
Modern
all
Warfare
completely all over.
2019's got all the operators in Modern Warfare 2019 looked vastly different, but it all just fit together for
Because
each
your brain,
faction.
because when you look at those characters, your brain
Yeah.
is being directed to engage with them in a similar way.
Well, that's
because
before you
they're
get
all-
into the weird cursed skins, and then the game falls apart.
Yeah, they're designed with the same philosophy. And if and that wasn't done here, it's like this guy didn't know that. Like whenever you look at those characters, like your brain is thrown in completely different directions because each one of them seems to be a completely different methodology behind how they were designed, how your eye is going to be brought into them, how your eye is going to work with them. That's why it feels so fucking difficult to engage, because you don't know how to visually approach the game. That's the problem. Like, I'm not a professional. How do I know? How do I know this? And this
Yeah,
person
you don't draw a character.
Because the
bitch.
human-
How does this you critique games?
Because Mike Stacklasa, right? Again, Red Letter Media fame. He's got a really classic phrase that I always like to bring up. You might not have noticed, but your brain did.
What your brain did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your brain noticed it. Your brain is like looking at these characters and saying, I can't engage with these in the same way I've engaged with them all before. And you look at so many great games about, like, let's look at like the initial season of Rainbow Six Siege.
Yes.
How the initial burst of characters works.
Yeah,
Oh my
Blackbeard
God.
looks like the most generic soldier man ever, but it worked.
I mean, also
look
you
at
have Jaeger. He's a pilot, man. He's got a fucking piloting helmet on and like a little like rigger's jacket, right? Makes sense.
Beyond just the genre of them being like, you know, military guys, military mans. Your eye, when you see them, starts with the shape, and then it moves into fine details moving up the body, and then you get to the head area where most of the things that are different are. They all follow that trend. You look at them and your eyes go forward and they go up. They're all that way, which is one of the reasons why Dokubi has a slightly. Ever wonder why she has some gray hair? Because they're drawing your attention, detail oriented towards the head. Same reason why that Polish chick has green hair. That's where most of the diffusion happens in the character design. It starts at the middle, where you get an outline. It hits you with color, and you move right up into the details. Every single one of them does that. None of them do that in this. None of them do anything similar. Each one of them does something different in fucking Concord. That's the problem. That's why it's so difficult. And you can overcome that if you have extremely good character design. That's very visually interesting or very engaging. It's still going to feel a bit weird, but you can overcome it if the design itself is very, very creative and awesome. It's just not best practice, because you can do better by doing this. This is not good character design anyway. So it's just
not
completely
good
fucked.
anything.
Encore, guys.
Well, again, it's a mix of like, yeah, this fucking weird hack lead artist, but it's also definitely reeks of like some suit somewhere being like, yeah, get this kind of person in there, and then get the 80s guy in there or whatever. Like,
But you'd think with a suit they would like be like,
Yeah,
why aren't
that's-
you do things the way these other successful games did them? When the suits get involved, you usually see something that's extremely safe
yeah, you know
and
what?
generic
You're
in
right.
terms of the art direction.
Yeah, like,
This is just
'cause it's
fucking
like-
terrible.
Because it's like, what is this? Yeah, it's like, what is this character supposed to be? What am I meant to think about this?
Yeah, what is this? How do I engage this? How is my eye supposed to work with this thing?
Hi,
I'm looking
Kia.
at?
We're playing Risk of Rain Returns.
No,
We're also talking about Concord.
and comparing it to other
Yeah, we're
games
explaining,
that
like,
did.
we're going into detail, like, Concord's bad, we all know it, but we're going into explicit detail about why Concord's bad.
Specifically what sucks about it.
Plus,
And
people were having a blast.
Specifically, the art direction. The art direction's, like, the big thing here.
Listen, I'm having a blast.
I'm having a blast. All right.
Listen, I'm on my face when it's time to blast.
I'm having a blast. I don't understand the hate. I'm having a
Also,
blast.
haters, there is a piece of Rule 34 now. That disturbing drawing of that one character with their mouth open.
I'm there. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I think
Why would anyone do that?
I didn't describe this to you at the time, John, like the way it made me feel, but I was like, ghoulish. Ghoulish was like the word I'd use to describe that. It looks like a fucking ghoul.
I almost thought about deleting it after I sent it to you because I didn't want to look at it anymore. I was like, this is disgusting.
Yeah, I was kind of the same opinion. I'm like, damn, he hasn't deleted it yet. I need to click off this.
I felt bad when I sent it to you that one night. I was like, I shouldn't have done that, but I had
Yeah,
to.
John,
I
you gotta.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, John, start spoiler tagging that shit so I can hide it. I can make it go away.
I was like, this is disgusting, but boy, is this what. Haters,
You know,
you're wrong.
You know, that's about the level of art I'd expect from somebody. You know, there's like some absolute like
Starfield haters, you lost.
some
Concord haters, you lost.
some real weirdo out there who's like just thinks like, oh yeah, Concord character's so hot. Some absolute fucking like goblin out there.
So that the lady that is a 34 of. That's actually one of the character designs I think could be okay. It's not horrible.
Yeah, specifically the porn version with the big lips.
Yeah, specifically that one. But like there is some interesting like there's some interesting way like the big afro's kind of cool and like the glasses the way they come down are pretty cool. It reminds me of the dude from Sin. Like that could work. It just needs to be done in a way so my eyes can approach it like I would with all the other characters. And
Oh my god!
since some of them are, it's just fucking confusing to look at. I actually don't hate that character design. I think that one is at least kind of interesting.
Damn,
I mean, it's a bit,
you're supposed to say you hate that character.
it is a bit like, it's not like a unique character, like that kind of aesthetic of like, hey, I got a big ol' afro and I'm, you know, doing that. That's not new, but I think it's okay. It's not my favorite.
Yeah, we've reached the fucking dizzying heights of passable. Holy
yeah, we've reached
shit.
the dizzying heights of I wouldn't fire somebody if they brought this to my desk. I would talk with them. I would fire them. Not immediately.
It's so weird that they made that one chick with like the shawl outfit, and then they just were like, okay, and now the rest of these characters are gonna look awful and horrifying. Rogue
She's
Gallery.
the only visually interesting character because the only one I think is coherent and I actually like, because I think the shawl is really interesting how it like. Well, now that I've seen more, she has kind of like a floppy outfit kind of thing going on where it's all like that, and that's a bit less interesting. I kind of like the idea that like she had like a shawl thing going on, and that was the only like floppy shit. But there's a lot more floppy shit. It's like, okay, well that's less interesting. But yeah, that one's okay. That's the best character. That's the only one I would probably take and say yes, this is. I will pay you for this. If there was a person that was like, you know, put that on my desk, I would not kill them. You will not die this day, is what I would say to the person.
I am pleased you will not die this day.
Yeah. The other ones...
Saying it like you're fucking Rao from Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
Your friends were wise not to come here today, character designer, lest they would have made the same fate.
I'm just imagining, like, for whatever reason you walk into the office, you have your arms folded and you're on a horse, just looking like Rao.
Big horse too, yeah.
Yeah, you're looking like Rao from Fist of the North Star. It's like, you were... your friends were wise not to come here this day. One of the fucking hardest villains in all of media, Rao.
Yeah, he's hard as fuck. Dude gives literally no fucks.
No, I mean he rides the horse with his arms folded.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
Yeah. I mean, he basically spent a majority of like the third act of the Fist of the North Star story just fucking absolutely washing everybody.
Well, yeah, he's fucking Rao.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not much to salvage with Concord. It's bad.
Mr. Rao, here's the lady with the big afro. This is acceptable. You will not die. Yeah.
There's a lot that needs to change, probably. Probably may want to decide on the, you know...
Here's the porn version of her.
And the other guy comes in with the fucking, like, the Amogus guy with, like, HDR on or whatever. Amogus guy with RTX on. Like, That guy just gets fucking splatted immediately.
Yeah, he uses the hook tool on him, and his
He
head
just
fucking...
immediately gets fucking like turned into paste.
Yeah.
But I am at least somewhat happy that people are actually like looking at this and like taking it fucking seriously, looking at art and taking it seriously, looking at design and taking it seriously.
Not just is this game woke? No, why is this game so shitty looking?
Yeah, it's just shitty looking. That's the problem.
Why does everything look like dog shit?
Why is everything like this weird washed pastel? It's like, oh, it was going for like Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. Guardians of the Galaxy was extremely colorful.
Yeah,
so you already fucked up.
Defenders of the... Someone's like, this dog, this is Defenders of the Cosmos. Call emoji.
And again, it's like, if you're using the pastel fucking texture style, normally that benefits from using really bright colors.
It's all very washed. And
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of washed earth tones.
Yeah, like, that's like the weirdest part to me. Because you have like... because like most cell shaded games use some form of a pastel texture to sort of accentuate the color scheme. Like,
yeah, but this is all that. It's all that very light, washed color palette. That's very unappealing to look at. It doesn't engage you. It's meant to calm you down, not engage you.
Yeah, it's a good sleep aid.
And so this is like, just the whole thing is that. I couldn't believe when I was looking at that the entire game was made up of that coloration. And then you get the fucking lizard guy, who's one of the worst characters I think I've ever seen in a game.
Yes. Yeah, there's some shit in Concord that's just like uniquely awful in a way which just defies the imagination.
Awful in a way that is just staggering.
Staggering, yeah, that's a good word for it.
Shocking. But I am happy people were finally.
Yeah,
we're having a blast.
Yeah, we're being fucking analytical about the art we're consuming. Maybe media literacy isn't dead.
And like, I think wasn't the guy like the dude who looks like the screaming soy jack? Like immediately when I saw his photo, I was like, why are you trying to look like the screaming soy jack?
Yeah, he looks like the screaming soy jack, or like the one that's going like, oh, that one. Yeah, that's the noise I imagine coming out of that soy jack.
I think when you linked his John, when you linked his Twitter to me, like that's the first thing I responded with.
That was the first thing that came to my mind too. I'm like, he looks like the soy jack that looks like he's orgasming. Oh. Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm blocking anyone being negative.
He probably did block.
Well, that's too bad, because it won't, you blocking out the haters isn't going to bring more sales to your dumpster game.
Yeah, your game, everybody hates your art design. You may want to think about how you fucked this up, because you did fuck up. Let's not be...
No, that's not what he's gonna learn from this all. He's gonna be like, oh, they're all wrong, I'm amazing.
Or he's gonna be like, man, it's amazing how widespread bigotry is.
Yeah.
In the gaming industry.
Yeah, it's the bigotry.
Because that's the problem. I mean, yeah, because there are people who have that, but these people don't play the games, and they're just going from
they're there to be haters.
Yeah, they're just going from one game to another, being mad that there's a black person in it. I mean,
yeah, well, nobody gives a fuck. Let's just discount Synthetic Man for a second, right?
Yeah, there's like these people, they're not even trolls.
They were never gonna play it anyways.
Yeah, they're not playing. They don't play games. I don't think they play anything.
They're not anything. They're just terminally online. That's all they are.
Yeah, I don't think most of the people who really get mad about that shit play.
No,
I just don't think it happens. Because most things they get pissed about are just such fucking nothing burgers.
Yeah, well, it's nothing at all, really.
Yeah, but like the actual criticism that people actually have, which is like what we've been go over about, like that's legitimate criticism. Like, how does he answer that shit?
Chud haters,
Yeah, the whole thing where it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna listen to haters.
They're just chud haters, innit?
Anybody who fucking infantilizes.
Blasting to the game right now.
I'm fucking blasting rope looking at the lady with an afro. I'm blasting rope. Saying it like I'm Gilbert Godfrey. I'm fucking blasting rope.
I'm boosting to this game. Don't listen to the criticism. I'm almost there. Oh.
Another thing too is, have you seen any like of the game, like the cinematics and stuff as they play?
Yeah, they spent a lot of money on cinematics too.
So like,
that's crazy.
What do you think? What do you think about the character animation?
I mean, what, for like the little, like the promotional movies they did?
So like they do the movies, you can see the characters as they like move around. I think it looks sort of unsettling.
I guess I didn't analyze it. I didn't analyze it.
It's extremely realistic.
I didn't analyze it enough to really have an opinion. It almost kind of feels like what the Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailer was. And that one was also kind of uncanny. It didn't really bug me, because I have kind of like an inbuilt tolerance for uncanny shit, so I'm not the person to ask for that.
It's just weird seeing these somewhat, like, fantastic characters, like the lizard guy or whatever, like, with such incredibly fine-tuned facial animations. Because, like, they don't go all the way and make like the textures really accurate, and the lighting really like realistic, and so you end up with these like essentially weird cartoon men, like looking like really like with extremely like fluid facial animation. It really bothered me. It bothered the fuck out of me, and I don't think they understood what the aesthetic was of the characters, because there really isn't a unified aesthetic of the characters.
Oh, come on, man! Oh, come on!
It looks horrible. It is difficult for me to look at. I have difficulty looking at it. I think a lot of people who may not have like as much of a sensitivity to sort of bad art as I do, I think a lot of people still got some kind of that feeling and pushed them away from it. Because like, it's there, even if you don't like. Even if you don't have to turn away like I did for that shit. I think a lot of people are like
turns his head away from the devil.
Like, I mean, a lot of people they will have like this sort of like, oh, I can't like put my finger on it, but it just doesn't look good. Like it doesn't look good. And why doesn't it look good? It's like, oh, they're uninspired, and okay, yeah, that's somewhat true. Uninspired is maybe an element of it. I just think the decisions were a lot worse than that. I just don't think it's someone who wasn't creative. I think uninspired would be just aping other character designs, and just like, yeah, well, you know what Overwatch did? Yeah, we're just gonna do that. That's what we're doing. We're doing Overwatch. You know, we're making cartoony, like we're making, you know, very over the top, very like exaggerated features. And I mean, I say that, but the fucking blueberry guys in the game. But they didn't do that. The problem isn't like a lack of creativity. It's that the creativity was just evil. Like it was the bad kind of creativity.
Evil person.
Like I don't know how else to put it. It's so it's like when effort fails this spectacularly, it's just so much more interesting to me than when like something fails just because it's like just generic and corporate and uninspired. This had like a lot of like, this guy cared about this. I just need to understand why he's such a fuck up. I need to understand what is going through his fucking head. Why he thought this was okay. I just need to understand it.
Response will be to this game's criticism when the developers finally say something.
Well, they'll all be dead by then.
Hi, Schmorple. We're talking about fucking Concord.
Yeah, we're playing it right now, having a blast.
Yeah, this is Concord.
What's up, Cord heads?
Yeah,
what's up, cons?
Yeah, what's up, my fellow Concord bros?
Yeah, I'm an ex-con.
I'm a pro at con.
I'm an ex-con.
Yeah, when you leave again, I'm an ex-con. Because it would be so boring if it was like just
another one of my favorite subreddits. It's r/felons. I love that subreddit.
Yo, that sounds awesome! Holy shit, r/felons.
There's a bunch of dudes who got in prison, and they're like, "Yeah, I was in prison." It's like, it was really boring in there. And some guy's like, yeah, and I was in there for all the fucking robbers. It's like, yeah, look at this guy. He says he was innocent. It was like, yeah, we heard that one before.
Yes, I also play Risk of Rain 2. I'm a huge Risk of Rain fan. I got like 1,000 combined hours in the series.
It's a guy who's like, yeah, and I was the good
Why,
one. Like, yeah,
why do you think I'm playing this right now?
You're supposed to be impressed by that?
No, I'm announcing my pedigree.
Saying we should all be like fucking like bow down to this shit and be happy about it. And
yes,
all, like,
going on
job.
Reddit talking about how hard a game is, and he goes, "I played the Dark Souls series." Before.
Yeah, I played Dark Souls before, and that's why I don't like Risk of Rain, because I've played Dark Souls once, and if every game isn't exactly like Dark Souls, I'm pretty mad. Just started playing 2 yesterday. Oh man, you picked a bad time to start 2.
I'm like the Dark Souls of wife beaters.
So, if you can, I'd recommend rolling Risk of Rain 2 back to the... Oh man, where do I start? There's a roll back program. I can actually put it in chat here. I'd really recommend rolling it back to the Devotion update. Because...
Listen to him, he's a hater.
Yeah, it's fucking...
Because it doesn't fucking work or whatever.
Yeah, because it doesn't fucking... Yeah, I'm hating because it doesn't work.
He's a hater. He's a hater. You can get on and have a blast.
Yeah, so I don't know if that link shows up in chat for you, but that... It stopped working because, yeah. Well, it's not just the mods. So what they did was they merged the console for the latest update, for the DLC update. They merged the console and PC code base, and it was kind of it was very rushed. So it's an absolute fucking nightmare of spaghetti code right now. It's a slop pile of spaghetti. So shit's just broken right now. So the Devotion update, at least until I think they're gonna iron it out. I like to have some faith and think they're gonna iron it out. But for the time being, I think the Devotion update's the best way to play because it doesn't have a lot of the bugs that got introduced with the latest patch. It's like the most stable version, and it has the most content. Yeah, it's in a bit of a rough state right now. The Discord's going absolutely apeshit. It's crazy.
The rebellion going on.
Yeah, but that's I guess not really a mod. That launcher I gave you is play tested by the community, so everything on it works. The Devotion update's the most recent update before this last one, so it's basically just the one right before this one. Yeah, great build. Did you get the DLCs, or do you just have the base game right now?
Can't believe somebody is clicking on a link that you gave them.
Fucked up. Oh, that's just the command artifact. I already have that. On mobile right now.
Mobile games.
Play
Get on
mobile
those
games. Play mobile games. Whoa! Can't seem to copy that link. It's just called ROR2 version selector whenever you get home to go play some more Risk of Rain 2. It's just called ROR2 version selector. Should take you to a GitHub link just if you Google it. So the mod, or not the mod, the launcher, RR2 version selector. But yeah, it should ask you for your Steam credentials. That's just so it can get access to the previous version database. So, like I said, it's been play tested by the community, so it's not going to steal your Steam credentials or anything. Just
how does it use those credentials?
It uses it so it can go back into the Steam archives for previous build versions, because they won't allow like access to old builds without your account details.
Why does it need an account to do that?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not fucking.
What's
Gabe.
this? What's this? Give me the GitHub link. I want to look at this.
I'm not fucking Gabe Newell. Yeah, I'm.
Dad wants to look at the GitHub link.
Yeah.
Get Pussy Hub.
Yeah, it uses Depot Downloader. It's basically a fucking like back-end system that lets you download previous versions of games through Steam. You just log into your Steam through the app, or through the fucking the file. There's also a way to do it directly through Steam. It takes a little bit more groundwork. I saw it on the Reddit, so if you are kind of squeamish about using a third-party launcher, then you can always do it directly through Steam. Up to you. There's options there for you.
Yeah, I'm reading.
No, not you. He just said so I repeated it in chat. What things stopped working outside of mods? A lot of stuff got tied to frame rate because the devs don't know how to code for Unity. So a lot of shit got tied to frame rate, including certain characters' attack speeds and animations. Acrid no longer lands directly on top of enemies. He'll bounce off of them like as if they were geometry, like a wall or something. Lot of weird clipping issues. Sometimes things can hurt you during boss fight cutscenes. It's a lot. It's like the game-breaking ones are like not numerous, but it's like a death by 1,000 cut things where it all just kind of comes together into a shit that just makes it not unplayable, but generally unpleasant to play. Some people on console apparently got their saves wiped. I don't know how. Yeah, that's a weird one. I don't know exactly how that happened, but... No, it's not just because of the new DLC. The reason mods don't work is because the code got completely fucked up. This isn't just like a compatibility issue with new content. This goes way deeper than that. Because I know the usual, like, you know, new update comes out, content doesn't work. Because I use, like, Final Fantasy mods, and usually whenever a big, like, update to Final Fantasy rolls out, sometimes some of the mods stop working. No, this is, like, worse than that. It's like a whole debacle. That's why people are straight up rolling back, is because the code is broken.
So the long and short of what Depot Download does, and why it's probably okay, but it's taking your credentials and it ultimately is then transmitting them to the Steam server to validate. I can't be sure that it's not doing something in between those 2 points. You're probably fine, because I think if there were anything really sketchy about this, that would have been found out.
Yeah,
on
it's
GitHub.
been like, yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that it's been documented.
I would be really hesitant to use anything that you didn't get directly from this.
Like I said, you can do it directly through Steam. It just takes extra steps. So if you're not comfortable trying to roll,
Yeah,
back,
this is probably okay because this release doesn't seem to be doing anything malicious. It's just introducing something into your computer that could be used to do something malicious. Because it's a system that takes your credentials, then pushes them through to the Steam server through a process of its own. It's not through the directly secured process that your computer does with Steam. It's probably fine, but it's something that, if leveraged incorrectly, it could do something bad. It's not really that threatening, but I would just make sure you only use what you got from GitHub. No, I wouldn't use anything else.
yeah,
Anything that is not directly from that, because something else could use this process to lift your account pretty easily. Because it doesn't look like it. One problem, it doesn't seem to transfer anything. Everything is transferred in clear text. It doesn't look like there's any encryption going on. So just.
Yeah, I mean, use at your discretion.
It is a pretty simple application.
Use at your discretion, but it is community tested, so there is.
As long as you have two-factor authentication, you're probably okay.
Yeah, it's community.
Which you should have.
Yes, you should absolutely be using Steam 2FA. But yeah, no, it's community tested, so it's nobody's reported like having anything stolen. So
you should be using 2FA on everything. In fact,
use at your discretion, but. Yeah, it's a way to simplify the whole rollback process. Shrimplify it, if you will. It's an unfortunate time to become a Risk of Rain fan right now. At least if you're looking to play the second game, because it's in a really shoddy state. Like I said, I'm not going to. Yeah, why wouldn't you have 2FA? Exactly. Why wouldn't you use 2FA? No, it's... And again, I wouldn't like be taking the doom pill about it and saying that it's never going to get better, that Gearbox has ruined the game forever, or anything like that, but it, definitely is just in a bit of a dire state that needs some addressing right now. Needs a little love.
No, they'll probably. I mean, they'll fix it. I don't see why they wouldn't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't.
Like, it doesn't cost that much money to fix a bug.
One, two, or several.
It probably is stemming from a couple of things.
Yeah, well, apparently what a lot of people said was it like rookie mistakes in the code, like shit that like. Because again, this is Gearbox, they probably are used to working on the UE, Unreal Engine, and they've never touched Unity before, and all of Risk of Rain 2 is built in Unity, so... Yeah, it's probably where our run's gonna end. Yeah, Loader's really strong. Loader's actually one of the characters most affected by the patch right now, so if you want to have a good experience with Loader, definitely roll back. Because stuff like her attack speed and her grapple hooks are affected by frame rates. Yeah. know, bad time to be a loader fan right now if you're, Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, I love this game, and I want people to have the best first experience with this franchise, because I love this franchise very dearly. So I figured I'd let you know.
I don't understand the hate.
Oh, I am not geared enough for this. I am so gonna fucking die.
I'm blasting.
I'm blasting.
Get up, boy.
Oh, I'm so fucking dead. Holy shit. Okay. Yep, there we go. What else is there? Oh, this is new. Yeah, I haven't seen this one before. A load of drop affected by FPS in the current update. The speed at which it fires in reels. Basically a lot of like the movement stuff. For whatever reason, the update broke a lot of movement tech. There's a... Look, if you play it on the previous update, like if you roll back to the Devotion update, you'll get a feel for her when you play her. You'll kind of get a sense of like how she works and what the physics around her feels like. And then you play the latest update and something's just off. Because I play capped at 120 FPS. It's like something will just feel off. It's hard to describe. Basically, it's like your momentum will just like arrest itself sometimes. Like you'll just kind of like just stop. Like momentum doesn't carry through as much after the latest update. Your FPS is capped automatically, but 60 FPS is the one that they play tested it for, because 60 is what console's based around. Because again, it's they merge the console and PC codes. Yeah, it was a really stupid idea. It's fucking lazy, and used it to save time or resources or whatever. Yeah, no, I'm sure they'll, recognize the problems and fix it, but in its current state, I can't recommend...
It's hard to blast to it.
I can't recommend playing the latest update. I definitely think it was a rush thing for sure. I think that they coincided the launch of the latest DLC and the latest patch with the announcement of Borderlands 4, because they wanted to get a cash injection for Q4 2024. Quality be damned, and they're paying the price for it now. Yeah, if you like movement in games, though, you'll definitely love Risk of Rain. There's tons of little tech shit in both games. Ah, very good. Yes. Yeah, you'll really enjoy Risk of Rain 2 if you're into movement tech. Risk of Rain 1's got plenty of it too, but if you're like talking specifically about like 3D movement tech. Yeah, you'll definitely like Loader. There's a few other characters that are really fun. There's definitely a lot of really fun alternative skills you can unlock for most of the characters too. So the sniper equivalent in Risk of Rain 2, the Railgunner, has a repulsor mine that you can use to basically like boost yourself. That's fun. That's fun for a lot of tech. I think that's subjective. Some people really like her Thunder Gauntlet. I like her Slam. I think you really got to mess around. Yeah, like there are some options you'll run into that feel like, oh, this just feels like a less good version of something this character already had. But there's a lot of alternative skills you can run into with characters that feel pretty good. There's some like in Risk of Rain 2, Akrid's bite skill is like I'd say just bad straight up because it requires you to get close to enemies in a game where once you get to late game, like touching, like getting within kissing distance of something is just like a death sentence. Yeah, Loader's Slam is good particularly because, or I like it specifically because it just drops you right down. It like arrests all your momentum and just brings you straight down to earth. So it's a nice way to just like reset your movement if you're like flying around the screen too much and you're like, get me off this crazy thing.
So Daniel, have you been looking at the evidence that points to Nal being back in Cobra's life?
Yeah.
In one stream, he says chillin' like Rockstar villains.
Yeah.
Too stupid to cover their tracks. We caught them red-handed, like Romeo and Juliet getting back together.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm glad for Cobra. I was worried he was gonna stay away forever.
Yeah, I was worried he was gonna. You know.
No, I want him to get what's. It's gonna be great.
Get what he deserves.
It's fine.
Like in the
in the
Jonkler movie.
This is such a watershed moment in his life.
Yeah.
This is literally like the one direction is like the scary castle, and the other direction is like the happy castle.
Yeah.
Like if he lets her back in, which he
already seems to have,
she will very rightly conclude that she can do and say anything.
Yes.
And that she'll be right about that. And at that point, he will, whatever power, whatever independence, whatever self he had, whatever individuality he had will be gone.
Good.
He has lost all power here.
Yep. Yeah, at that point, there will be absolutely nothing. She accused him of multiple felonies and has never rescinded those.
She claimed that he put his hands on her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Claimed that he tried to kill her
literally
twice.
tried to kill her.
Claimed that he threatened to rape her mother. Like she just went on these insane.
Her weird incest.
So how Loader. Sorry, I'm talking to my chat at the same time. So,
don't talk to them. Talk to us. I'm here.
So Loader.
Not real.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
real,
you're gonna get jealous like now, fucking.
Like, do you know
I don't even know who chat is. All right, so how Loader grapple works in this game is if you hook onto an enemy, it'll pull you to them. If you hook onto a wall, it'll pull you to there. Really simple. Just a nice way to give yourself a little speed boost while you're just going down straightaways.
I'm always hooked on enemies. I'm hooked on drugs.
Hard
I'm
drugs.
freaking chocoholic.
On drugs.
Here, I can use the rollback launcher here in a bit and show you some loader from Risk of Rain 2 as well. A lot of royal medallions, Jesus. I also should preface, I actually haven't seen all the content and returns yet. So, I was actually away in military training for quite some time when this game came out in November last year, and I was away from January all the way until May, thereabouts. So...
Bikers, military personnel.
Military personnel, I know. Oh!
Bikers, military personnel.
Yeah, I was gone for quite some time, so I actually wasn't playing this as much as I would have liked.
I've been re-listening to some Cyrax. It's been great.
In which one? Risk of Rain 1 or 2 for,
I don't think Cyrax is in either one of those games.
yeah, Cyrax
Yeah.
is in either one of them. Yeah, it works. It maintains your momentum until your feet touch the ground again.
You know what Castle Doctrine means?
Yeah, it means I can come in there and fuck you!
Hey, will you watch the new Tamers video today?
No, the one with the I don't
Sleepover.
I don't know if I want to watch the My Little Pony ones.
Why?
You should
Why
be
not?
watching them. They're hilarious.
They're amazing.
I'm certain they are.
No, it's because Daniel's such a big fan of the Sonic Underground. He doesn't like that his favorite content creators
I have an
mold.
association with Sonic. That's the thing.
Yeah, we actually watched Sonic Underground with fucking Sonic.
I can't believe
sucks.
you guys fucking watched Sonic Underground while I was away getting my
Yeah.
shit kicked in, dude. That's so
I mean, we
funny.
also watched the fucking
you guys-
Sid the Science Kid.
Yeah. We watched that what was that one show that was like
Oh my god, the best one.
We watched a Doodle Bops episode of
Doodle
thinking
Bops.
we'd meet Major
Oh my
Chord, and
god,
then we
you
realized
guys
it's a
watched
separate
Doodle
show.
Bops.
Yeah, that Professor Major Chord is not an actual Doodlebot. It's just theorized that he's their uncle. And we got gaslit too because the first episode had another professor on it. So we're thinking like there's going to be a lot of professors and Major Chord is one of them.
Jesus Christ.
We got gaslit. It was probably the best out of the shows though. To be honest with you. Sid the Science Kid is deeply unsettling.
Oh yeah, Sid the
Um,
Science
right.
Kid just looks
Oh,
weird.
we should watch more Sid the Science Kid. That's good.
I mean, I'd
Oh
probably
my
watch
god.
Yeah, let's put on some Sid today. Let's watch some Sid the Science Kid today.
Holy
So
shit.
fucked up. They're so fucking wrong looking. Like there's just like fucking
Yeah,
Gerald
it's
is
just like it's like 11 p.m. and we're like, okay, time to watch some Sonic Underground and Sid the Science Kid, and you just fucking your eyes glaze over, and you just question what you're doing.
You know,
with your
somehow
life.
I feel like out of, between me being in army training and you guys watching Sid the Science Kid, you guys were the one getting punished harder than I was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very incorrect looking. Is probably the best way I would describe Sid the Science Kid.
The way they
looks
move is
incorrect.
scary.
So, Schmorple, Railgunner is actually my favorite character in Risk of Rain
I'm
2.
talking about Sid the Science Kid.
All right,
right
well,
now.
you know what? You can shut up.
Schmorple?
I'm talking to chat right now.
Well, Schmorple needs to get on the program. We're talking about Sid the Science Kid.
Oracle should watch all
No.
54 episodes of Sonic
Oh
Underground.
my
right now.
god. Yeah, no, Railgunner's probably one of my favorite characters in Risk of Rain 2, next to Captain.
My favorite episode is when they attacked the dam and they shot the non-combatant robot workers.
Yeah, that was weird. I
They're just
remember
like
that.
shitty robots and they gunned them down. I was like, yeah, now this is more interesting. War crimes.
There weren't actually any armed defenders of the dam, from what I could tell, and so there was really no need
There was
to
one
get the
armed
resistance
defender,
involved.
and it was weak to water, and it was guarding a dam the whole time. Who could have thunk? And that happened like 60 years ago. So like hillbilly country's been like in an open rebellion for a very long time.
Yeah, it was so weird how they don't fucking understand like the timeline of their own show. Like, Robotnik took over when the triplets were like really young. So they're like teenagers, like they're like early teenagers now.
Yeah, the quick scoping's a lot of fun, and
So it's like 10 years maybe. They were infants, I guess, or maybe you can say maybe this on the outside let's say 15. And like the resistance like fell apart like 60 years ago, like where they were actually rebelling against like the fucking hedgehog family. Is they just continue resisting? There's a complete regime change, and they just continue being resistant. Like, well, we know how to resist, so let's just keep doing it.
So with Railgunner, I pretty much never use their normal primary, like the machine gun primary, except if I'm like surrounded by chaff. Usually I just buy drones to take care of like chaff enemies for me.
As long as we don't have to see the sponge anymore, we'll be fine.
One was the best part.
That was the worst. That was the worst thing. The sponge.
Sorry, my friends are talking about the Sonic Underground, a fucking TV show from the 90s where Sonic the Hedgehog was played by Jaleel White.
Jaleel played Sonic the Hedgehog in all of the traditional Sonic stuff.
Did he really?
Yeah, Jaleel White.
Well, I remember the Sonic Says
Sonic.
shit or whatever.
Yeah, and he was in both Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog. He's like the traditional Sonic voice. It wasn't just Sonic Underground. That was just the shittiest one.
You're the best one Jaleel White was in.
That's objectively incorrect.
You're objectively gay.
The Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday morning was the best by far. Period. Full stop.
Yeah, that's the one that made you a furry, wasn't it? That's what you
Yeah,
secretly told me one night. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Uh-oh.
I don't know how I resisted becoming a furry, considering like my childhood was full of so much Sonic the Hedgehog shit.
Dark side, you're immune to the dark side. Wasn't supposed to say you're a furry, oh. Whoops.
Probably because I wasn't exposed to anime until I was at least like an adolescent. Yeah, it didn't destroy my ability to like parse reality until I was like a teenager. Probably what saved me.
Tried to be Naruto and working out too well.
Tried to be Naruto.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well. So made me a felon. Wait, why aren't you streaming Star Wars Outlaws for your YouTube audience?
That's really funny.
Yeah, that's what they want.
So I'm in the chat right now. It's all they're asking for. They've thrown you $500 to buy Star Wars Outlaws. That's how much it costs, I believe. Did you want to play
where's the fucking
latest
day
Ubisoft
one stream?
game?
Day one stream of Star Wars Outlaws. That's fucking crazy.
Why aren't you playing the hot new game?
The new hotness? Nah, I'm good.
Oh, if it was some shitty game like Elden Ring, I bet you'd be playing it.
No, actually, I don't. I don't like playing Elden Ring anymore.
Yeah, we finished Elden Ring DLC. We were like, this fucking is so annoying and kind of shitty.
It's a very tedious game, actually. It's too much. There's just a lot of content.
Good for one
playthrough.
playthrough. Good for one playthrough. You'll never want to go back.
All right, have a good one, man. I'm all alone again. Chat, my friend Chat has left the building.
Thank God.
Now we can say things we've been meaning to say the whole time.
Now you can start playing Star Wars Outlawed like you were supposed to.
Man, like you promised us. K's
Like, don't you want to be a Star Wars outlaw?
Well, I don't know if completing mandatory stealth missions is what outlaws do. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what outlaw is all about.
Well, hey, if freedom is outlaws, then only outlaws are free, right? Remember that?
So true, sis. Amen, sister.
Spit your shit, Star Sister.
So true, sisters.
I'm just here speaking truth to power.
Rest in power. Star Wars Outlaws. Man. You know what should have been a Star Wars game instead of this one? It's made by the Just Cause guys, and you've got a grapple hook and a jetpack, and you just go around Imperial bases and blow them all up. It's just Cause, but it's Star Wars, but you're blowing everything up. There you go.
I mean, that's cool, I guess. But what if we could
Better
like?
than Star. What if
we could make a game where you could be the Mandalorian though?
Oh, you mean Starfield?
Yeah.
Starfield the Mandalorian?
Oh
Fucking
man,
love.
this is the best Star Wars game I've ever played. It's Starfield. Damn, that's really a low bar. That fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, I hope you get better. Jesus.
Damn, feels so much.
You're like, do you need to get put on suicide watch? Do you need help?
I'm just loving the game, man.
Mm,
No,
you-
don't you see Total Replacer? They replaced the flags at New Atlantis with Empire flags. Remember Imperial Architecture? New Atlantis? That classic Imperial Architecture?
Yeah, classic. None of this brutalist design. No, no elaborate shit. Just fucking sleek.
Yeah.
Overabundance of
Four
light.
four apartment buildings. Everyone on New Atlantis, 4 apartment buildings.
Everyone's here.
The whole galaxy lives here. And then the Rebel Alliance lives in Aquila City.
I mean, of course.
No, I'm having a blast. Blueston.
I don't understand the hate. I'm having a blast.
Oh, you've upgraded your experience to Bluesting already?
And Blueston, the fucking gif of Angry Joe falling out of the chair after he blasted. Too hard.
He's blue.
Analyzing evil, Angry Joe.
I got too close to the sun and blasted hard.
Really can't wait for the Analyzing Evil episode of Angry Joe on Angry Joe. It's gonna be really good.
See how he... What was that? Glamborban and Schmarvin from Star Wars? From Star Trek?
It's from Star Wars the new poop stain.
The Phantom Penis.
Yeah, Star Wars the Phantom Penis. I love that.
Penis secretly enters your ass and you don't know about it.
When are they gonna give love to the fucking Christmas Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars Chris. I mean, that's the level we're at now. Come on.
Harrison Ford will kill himself, didn't you hear? He threatened suicide.
Sauce.
I'd kill myself.
I'd kill myself.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Who shot first, Han or Greedo? I don't care. Yeah, you know what, Harrison Ford, you're right. Fuck Star Wars.
He didn't care about Star Wars. He was doing cocaine and having sex with Carrie Fisher the whole time. He didn't even give a shit. He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do drugs and get sex. That's all he did. That's all Star Wars was. Rocking it, and now he gets in the plane crashes. He's like a GTA protagonist.
Yeah.
It's a rockin' ass dude.
It's a rockin' good time.
It's in the plane crashes. Holds up airports or whatever.
Yeah, it's awesome.
These fucking terrorists. Younger adult life is, how could you do such mean things? Well, you know, older adult life, hell yeah. Well, that's awesome. Fucking nerds, dude. I'd kill myself. So anyhow, Obushu's tried playing the Star Wars game and he raged because the game kept telling him to do stealth segments. So he's like, alright, this game sucks. So he turned it off.
It's awesome.
And he got so mad he watched umbrella review videos for the rest of the night.
Yeah, like literal like patio umbrellas.
And like he found this YouTube channel. It's like this like middle-aged like dad guy, and he's like reviewing like umbrellas and toys, and he's like in this creepy white room. It looks like a holding cell for like an SCP. It's the fucking weirdest shit ever.
Yeah, it's like a
weird.
crooked desk in a fucking like white office room. Like it just looks like he rented out an office space.
Yeah, it looks like a prison cell for like an SCP.
It really does.
There's like a little window, you know, the type of like small like square window, that small like rectangular window that like you couldn't even like stick a hand through. There's one of those, and it's like, this is fucking prison. This man's in fucking jail, and he's reviewing umbrellas. Yeah, it's awesome. Almost time for seizure, robot.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to close the stream for now. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a great night.